Okay, guys, preseason game is over. Woo! Tell you what. What happened to watching a preseason game and it's over and you walk away and you said, it's always even more boring with nothing happening than you think it's going to be. Unbelievable. But we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves here. What we're gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to figure out reading my notes and talking to you. So let's do this. You guys all saw it. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself because if I start talking about some of the things that I know everybody wants to talk about, I'll start on that and never even get to the thing. So eventually we'll get to it all. All right. Jets get the ball first, and the first completion by Zach. I mean, they have two angles on it. They showed the replay twice. They showed the side replay, which we saw originally from the play. Then they have an angle from the end zone, and the end zone angle on the opposing side's end zone. So you're looking into Zach's eyes, right, from behind. And you could see on this play, Zach is looking at another receiver down in the middle, and then he looks. You'll see him. He's looking dead center. And then he looks to his left, he sees Corey Davis, and bam. I mean, that's how fast. I love the fact that it was his second option. You know, it was just a great pass. Okay, that was great. Third down, pass gets broken up. You know, he had a lot of time. It was a quick throw. He probably could have held the ball longer. It was a safe throw. Nothing bad was going to happen. We kick our field goal. Now, I can't just say we kicked our field goal. We kick a 54-yard field goal. 54-yard field goal by Amendola. And the bottom line is, it was barely in on the left, but that ball would have been good from a long ways out. And it was straight as an arrow. Wasn't hooking. Nothing was going on with that throw. So I talked to my producer real quick and I said, listen, get in my videos and take down the video where I killed Douglas a little bit about the whole kicking situation. What does that bastard do? He refuses me. He then kicks off, right? He takes a 3-step kickoff, right? Just a 3-step, kicks it out of the end zone. I'm thinking to myself, well, how did this? Yeah, I saw him the week before and everything, and I really got on Joe with that video because I was so scarred from last year, you know. But looks like we might have a kicker. Packers no starters. You want to talk about roller coaster ride with this? You want to talk about somebody that is going to go from left to right and right to left? Packers no starters. And I wrote down this. I have to be honest. At this point, I put down, I wrote down, what's going on here? Here we go again. Last week with Joe Judge, right? No Daniel Jones. No Rodgers. Rodgers isn't even dressed. And then we hear from the announcers, well, a couple of the offensive linemen are starting. No, Love's not playing, so it's not even the second-string quarterback. So we're looking at our third-string quarterback, practice squad quarterback. Oh, gosh. Well, what's going on in the NFL? This is my thinking, right, at the time. And I wrote down here, I was pissed. I was getting annoyed, And I could have changed all this. I could have been honest with you and not said this, because we see later on, anyway. And I write down here, by the time the last drive happens with Zach Wilson in the first half, I'm like, get him out, man. Get him out. Get him out. Let's go home. Get him out. So, anyway, that was my initial thinking. Anyway, the Packers get the ball. They had one long passing play the whole entire drive, and it's called incomplete. They challenge it. It was a good catch. They move the ball, and the bottom line behind that first drive is for the first time this preseason, I was really disappointed. The Packers are just running the ball at will. There's nothing worse from a fan standpoint. Of course, it's annoying when you get picked apart passing game, but there's nothing more annoying. I'll never forget a Jet game. I want to say it was, I don't know how many years ago. Boy, oh boy, my brain is shot because seriously, this could have been 6 years ago or it could have been 16 years ago. Remember the game when the Raiders ran the ball I think it was 12 or 13 straight times? It was just, there's nothing worse being a fan than watching your team just get run on. And basically that's what happened here to start with, They were just running the ball. And then on the last play to get into the end zone, they run a sweep, right? And Marcus May is the last guy, right? And I just took a horrible angle, and hit the guy. And he hit the guy out of bounds, but he was already 2 yards in the end zone, It just, the effort didn't look there. I just didn't like what I saw. It could be me. It could be me just looking at things from a negative standpoint, but I'm usually not negative when it comes to stuff like that, But anyway, I just didn't like what I saw in that first drive. So Jets get the ball back. Zach completes a couple passes. The running game does okay. I write down here, and our backs are, getting past the line and they're getting into the linebackers. Okay, and again, for the second week in a row, we see exactly what's been a familiar thing with the Jets. I wrote down here last year, but it really has been several years now, right? And we all said it was an Adam Gase thing. And of course, there's new linemen this year. It's just a Jet thing right now. And here we are at 3rd and 1, and we run into the line again, and there's nothing there. Exactly what we saw last week. And of course, I get a little irritated. Now I'm getting a little irritated, right? Next defensive stance, the D looks a lot better. A couple of stops on the runs, 3rd down pass completion, but short. And the secondary coverage on that was really good. Then there's a punt fair catch to Barrios, and I wrote down here, I like Barrios back there returning punts. I just feel safe with him. I know he's going to catch it. I like him back there. And Barrios is the kind of guy, he reminds me a lot of Edelman. When Edelman returned punts, if they get the ball and they can get that first and second stride, they're going to get 10. They're going to get you 10. And there's nothing much more you could ask from a returner. So now the Jets' third position, Coleman has a nice run, and then it happens. For me, it finally happens. For me, you have your first Zach moment. You have your first. You could have been watching Zach at BYU, or you could have been watching Zach in a Jet uniform. The pass that he makes to Corey Davis down the right side. In fact, Rodgers acknowledges that throw in that interview that he does. That was the one play he acknowledged. He said, that throw, the throw he makes to Corey Davis down the right side, it was for I want to say 26, 27 yards. But you got to remember now, Zach's rolling out to his right, throwing off his back leg, and he's probably a good 6, 7, 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So this is like a 35-yard throw that was effortless. It was just beautiful. It looked like he was having a catch with someone. And it was on target, perfect pass, just a good find. Of course, that was definitely not his first option, and then it just hit me. That was my first Zach Wilson moment. And it just feels good to everything you've seen with the tapes and everything. You see him do that. Everything you saw him do at BYU. Everything that all the naysayers have said, he did it. He's doing all this crap against, horrible. He just made a fantastic play, and I wrote down here with Corey Davis. You could also tell he found a security blanket. Corey Davis is his. When things are rough. In fact, we've seen so far one last week and one of these two passes that he should not probably have thrown. Incompletions to Corey Davis. They weren't going to be interceptions, but Davis was just surrounded. And, just threw it to him and they got batted away and stuff. But you can tell there's definitely that, And then I wrote down here first Zach. Well, boy, I got ahead of myself. That was pretty good for not reading it. Blow me away. I'm finally impressed. Also, I noticed on this drive, Fant is also in on that drive. So they are going back and forth. Oh, I did get ahead of myself. Zach Moment, a few players later. Okay, a few plays later, right? He finds Croft for the touchdown pass, and you're just feeling, as a Jet fan, you're just feeling really comfortable. You can breathe a little bit, Everything we've heard about, everything we've seen with our own eyes, and everything the naysayers were, last week, everybody else is throwing touchdowns. And, I don't care what they've done against what any of those guys done. No, there's no rookie that looked more impressive than he did today. He looked fantastic, Packers get the ball back and a long pass incompletion. Great coverage by Dunn, I put down here. And then all of a sudden, that play happens. And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting right here watching the game, and I got the big screen behind me, but I'm watching the game here because I'm trying to write down some of the things I'm seeing also at my desk. And all of a sudden to my left, I got a window here, windows there. The windows just light up like somebody's outside with a flashlight and it's nighttime and just light up. And like 1 second later, boom, a bolt of thunder. And still watching the game for about 5 seconds, and bam, the screen goes blank. Electricity's still on, everything's still working, but our underground cable wires, our cable went out. We live in an area down here where a lot of stuff is underground. Now, why do they put stuff underground? There's a million reasons. But as a consumer, for me, they do it because my stuff's not going to go out that much. One bolt of lightning, one big bang of thunder, my underground cable goes out. And it must have been real quick because everything was resetting itself. So I tried to get everything back together again real quick, and while everything's loading and my Wi-Fi is loading and everything, I grab my phone, which of course, I can get Wi-Fi outside, and I go on to NFL.com and I'm watching the plays that I missed. I missed the Mosley 3-yard loss run play, and so then it resets, come back, I go to the NFL.com, I said that already, first impression of Mosley, and then my first impression here, I also put down a first impression of Mosley. Mosley was just like around every single play. His speed. The first pass, in fact, I can't believe I didn't put a note on that. The first pass the guy completes when he rolls to the right, and there's a lot of time. You see, the challenge play. Mosley had great coverage on the guy. Number one. Number two, it's a receiver. Number two. Number three, it was about a 12-second play. Right? Number three. So it was a very impressive play that Mosley was in position to make that play. And, all of a sudden, Mosley's not 231. He's probably not going to be in that position to make that play. And number four leads into a little bit negative, is that's what this offense, that's what this defense does to its linebackers. And that's something we're going to see a little bit of. The linebackers are really stretched in this defense. So, but Mosley, again, I wrote a note here. Mosley was up to the task. I mean, he was just in, even the plays, there was a couple pass plays of 5 or 6 yard gains, nothing much, right on top of the guy. No yak whatsoever. Everything he was doing, he was right on top of everybody. Mosley's in the spot, the running game but the running game at the point I wrote down here is still beating the Jets. A 9-yard pass out of the backfield. Then there was a 9-yard pass out of the backfield that could have easily been stopped for a 1 or 2 yard gain, and Lamar Jackson misses the tackle. And I know I said it last week. I'm not trying to come down hard on the guy, And I just don't think Lamar Jackson's long for and again, like I said last week, you got to say it. He survived Gase and Greg Williams, and so far was seen throughout the offseason by Saleh, has been seen by Joe Douglas for a long time, has been seen by the whole new coaching staff, and he's here. So there's something that they're seeing in him, and we did see certain things last year too, right? But the bottom line is he gets beat there. Huff puts nice pressure on the quarterback, forcing a quick incompletion on the next play. And they go for it on 4th down, and a great throw. It was a great throw. Dunn had wonderful coverage, really good coverage, but it was a good throw, and they beat him. Special note, surprised. Yeah, I put a note down here. What I was surprised to see at this point, and there's several reasons that it could be. One of them is a reach, and that'll be the second reason I give. I was surprised to see the Jets had so many 11 guys on the line. They had a lot of 11 on the line. You know, not much blitzing. They did blitz. They did blitz on occasion. You know, you did see linebackers coming on occasion. But I was surprised to see so many plays where the Jets showed 11. You know, when I say so many, I want to say like 5 or 6 times I saw it. And I was surprised to see that. And there's the reach reason could be. I was wondering if it was possible. Is if, you know, a lot of these times these coaches talk. And sometimes, let's say if they have a quarterback that needs to see something, they'll say, hey, can you do this a little bit? Can you do that a little bit? Can our quarterback see this? But I doubt that was the reason. Great breakup, right? Breakup by Bryce Hall, who looks good. He really looks good so far. And then they're doing really great, and on great coverage, Mosley is called for holding that guy, tackling that guy on that play. And it's too bad because it was really, really good coverage. And then it just hit me. All of a sudden I look at the clock and I'm thinking to myself, this is a long-ass drive, you know? Packers finally score a touchdown. And the announcers say that they beat Bryce Hall. That Bryce Hall was the guy beat. It wasn't Bryce Hall. To me, it wasn't Bryce Hall. Marcus May was in perfect position to make that, you know, to read that and make that play, and his reaction time was just a second off. But I don't think it was Bryce Hall. Then we have a great return by Valentine. I mean, great. They show the replay. It was great blocking for him. Zach is still in the game. And now I've become Mr. Hypocrite. You know? Now I'm beginning to think, oh, God, do we really need to see any more? We had our BYU moment already. You know? I've seen, you know, yes, I agree. He can do what he did at BYU. You know, after sitting there bitching about Joe Judge and beating Joe Judge up to, you know, and Daniel Jones. And initially, you know, like I was honest. I told you guys, you know, saying, you know, Rodgers, Love, I know, has a hurt shoulder, but, you know, you hear the announcer saying there's Packer starters, and now here's Wilson coming out with, you know, still like 6-7 minutes to go in the second quarter, and I'm wondering, like. But the bottom line is, this is a new system, you know, and I write down here, new system, rookie quarterback. Salah had to do what he's done so far. Great field position. Ty Johnson breaks off a great run. He looks really good also. He's got such a great first step at the line of scrimmage, once he gets on the line of scrimmage. Then he has another run up the middle for 6 yards. And then Zach hits Croft again with a great find. Pass is a hair high, but a great find. I'm just saying a pass is a hair high because the pass was a hair high. It was a great find, a great read, a good look, and it was just a great touchdown. Croft makes the catch, gets hit, and just guy bounces off the hit. He goes across, and Cross just walks the 1 yard into the end zone. Great day, 2-minute warning, very good day for Zach. Okay, the touchdown it was a great day for Zach. I can't find any negatives at all. I can think of the incompletion to Davis, the other incompletion where he was way off when he rolled to the right to hit the guy. He did that on purpose. He threw low and into the guy's legs on purpose. He was completely covered. I can't find anything wrong with Zach Wilson. He looks safe with the ball. He looks really secure back there. And now when he goes back into that pocket, I start to get a positive vibe. A positive vibe. Okay? And while I'm writing this all up, I've got the Panther-Ravens game, right? Going on. And typing away, looking at my writing, firing producers, and all of a sudden, I look up, and Darnold on his first play makes a nice 17-yard pass to Anderson. I'm like, oh God, I don't really want to see this right now. And I swear to God, I was ready to turn. I don't really want to see it. And then the next play was like for 3 or 4 yards, and then Darnold. Then somehow they must have had really good field position. They're on their like the Raven 15-yard line, I would say. And then Darnold snaps the ball, play action, fakes, rolls around to the right just a little bit, but he's still sort of center field. And then all of a sudden I saw it. And I'm smiling, not because I apologize, I really do. I'm really rooting for the kid. I like this kid a lot. But I'm smiling because I had a flashback for me. And then all of a sudden, I just look down and I see his feet. And you start to see the happy feet. He has great protection. There's nobody open. He's not going to be sacked. And you just start to see the feet. And I remember the feet. I remember that watching him. And I haven't seen Zach. This is AC Zach. Then turn. This is his feet. And I said, oh, this is not going to be good. And he's not close to being sacked. And all of a sudden, I just watch the ball, and he throws it about 15 yards into the stands. Just threw it away. And it just made me wonder, And that was it for him. They just had him in one drive also. But I can't believe I just caught his feet. And anyway, I hope he does great. I really do. To me, it was just a flashback. And that's not good because that used to drive me crazy. We want to see Zach all day long, but I'm sitting here at the 2-minute warning. And I'm sitting here at the 2-minute warning, and I'm thinking to myself, bye, Zach, get out. I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to see it anymore. If you had told me I'd be saying that at 4:25 p.m. today, I don't care if he had 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. I would never have. I want to see Zach Wilson right now get as much playing time as possible. And now, after everything that I've seen, and this is before what's about to happen, I don't want to see him anymore. Get off the field, okay? How about Croft, who we've heard all preseason has had the dropsies, right? So far, when he's on the field, he looks like glue, He looks like a real tight end. We know he's a good blocker. So let's see. He did have some success in Buffalo, So who knows? He's young. Could have something there. And when a quarterback, we found that out in Darnold's first year or Herndon's, were they both rookies at the same time? Anyway, we saw that early on with Herndon, and that's why we still hold on to Herndon because of that. Darnold had that security blanket of a tight end for a tight end, and for Zach right now, he's got Croft, and that's fantastic. And again, I wrote down here again, it has to be that the Jets want to give the cover team some practice. Again, Amendola, 3-step kick, no wind up, what is it, 7, sometimes 10-yard kick. They wind up and they boot it out of the end zone. And I saw him do it amazingly on the first kickoff of the day. It was only a 3-step kick. And he kicked it out of the end zone, so he could do it. Now these 3 steps are landing at the 5-yard line. The last one was at the 10. So it has to be intentional. And the reasons could be twofold. They could be because they want to give the special team some practice, or it could be like Belichick. Belichick does that all the time. They believe with their coverage that if they do that, they can get on the positive side of the 25-yard line. Tackle them at the 16, 18, try to get 6 or 8 yards. So I don't know if Salah's doing it for that reason. If I was a reporter, I would ask the question. So I don't know if he's going to be asked that question. Quick 3 and out for the Packers. and I'm laughing to myself. They show the sideline real quick, and you see Zach Wilson grab his helmet, and they're like, no, get back here. But because they told Zach Wilson to get it back out there, they didn't tell Mcgovern to. And Salah's got his first time that he's going to be asked some questions. I have a funny feeling. They did not tell Mcgovern to. And I think there's going to be, as a fan, God, with what we've seen, I mean, Rex Ryan with Sanchez, we have seen coaches of all teams. I'm not going to get on Salah right away for this. I don't understand it only because Zach came out. So you wonder, if this is something that just flew under Salah's radar. You wonder. But knowing Salah, I doubt we're going to hear if that's the case. He'll probably just say, he'll either say, yep, probably shouldn't have had him in there at that point, or listen, we're still trying to get continuity on the offensive line, so one way or another. I did not see the presser yet, so. And then I started thinking about this stuff, and again, I'm not a doctor, and I wrote a big thing up here, and I'm not going to read the whole damn thing, and I just start to think to myself, all these guys have gone down with injuries with Achilles and ACLs and all that stuff. Is this stuff for some of these guys? I know some of the stuff, you look at a guy turn a certain way, and you're like, and it makes sense. But these guys on these plays, they run these normal plays, they run 1,000 times, and you wonder and you think to yourself, are these injuries like where this tendon or this, muscle or this, whatever it may be, are like ready to go? And that if it didn't happen today, it would happen next week in the first quarter. I know that's off the reservoir thinking, but that's where my brain goes. I just wonder, is it possible that some of this stuff is just going to happen? And I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't even know if a doctor can answer that. I'm sure they could. You know what? I should really Google that. I'm sure somebody has an answer for that. I'm probably completely off base. Anyway. Oh, and then I started thinking about a pitcher. Remember the pitcher for the Yankees, Tanaka? Spent a ton of money. He comes over from Japan. Right away, the second season, they notice a tear. They notice, not a tear. They notice fraying in the tendon in his elbow where he's close to Tommy John surgery. And usually when you see that, you say, go ahead and Tommy John surgery. And for some reason, the team and Tanaka elected not to do the surgery and just run its course. Because the doctors told the Yankees 1, 2, 3, 4 years maybe? You never know. Is it going to tear at some point? Probably. But you never know. And the Yankees were in the middle of a season. The pitching staff was thinner. And, I don't know if that was all the reasons, but for whatever reason, they decided to say, you know what, let's go with it. And 8 years later, they were still going with it. It never happened. So, I don't know. Again, not a doctor, thank God. Thank God for you guys. Off the reservation. Okay, first half finally comes in over. At this point, I start converting my notes into the computer. I said, let me get ahead of the game. Let me see if I can get this video out before 9 o'clock. Because I know YouTube likes to do what they do in the back room. Sorry, guys at YouTube. I'm kidding. I'm sure you're just eating. My heart starts feeling not great about doing the whole second half. I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking to myself, did I just see Davis and Mcgovern go down in the first half? After Lawson going out for the year and Rankins being hurt also later this week. First play in the second half, the Jets recover a fumble. The ref says no. Salah says yes. Salah throws the old challenge-a-rooski. And we win the challenge, which means both coaches have won their challenge in the game and makes Salah 2-0. Wonder if we've ever had a coach that's 2-0 in challenges, damn it. Yeboah gets a reception. And on 3rd and 1, we go for it and get it. Huron gets it. Then I noticed Fant has moved over to left tackle, which I thought was a great idea. Just Fant, although I believe, he did. He played a little left tackle over in Seattle. So, I mean, just great having guys that can play multiple positions. So they have Fant playing left tackle, not for long. White then gets sacked. Levin gets beat badly. Throws into the end zone. Yeah, then he throws as he was throwing into the end zone, I think it was, to Barrios. It was incomplete. I thought Barrios was completely interfered with. They don't call it. And then Amendola comes out and hits a 45-yarder. Just again inside the left upright. But the kick is true, man. I mean, it's like you know what's funny? You watch those kicks that are heading and they're just inside the goalpost. And you say to yourself, oh, just hold on. That's not going to hold on. This kick was just inside the goalpost from the beginning. And you know what? I'm watching it and I'm saying to myself, it's going to stay there. It was just like a dime, man. Straight as an arrow, like a bullet. It just looked like a laser. It just went inside and it stayed there the whole entire time, the same distance. And he kicked his 45-yard field goal. I wrote something here again about my producer, but I'm not going to bust your chops about that. I just wrote down here, I told my producer again to take down the damn video about Zach Douglas, and he says it's dishonest. Packers on offense, then Rashid goes down. And I wrote down here, and you're almost at the point that if I'm Salah, I'm throwing the flag in. I'm turning to LaFleur, I'm saying, pointing to my watch. It's just hungry. We gotta go. And I would get the team safely on the plane, gently sit them down. I'd buckle them in, tell them, just relax, I'll buckle you in. Get the damn plane home, drive them individually to their homes, individually. 45 different, 50, 80, 70 coaches, talk to if they have other, wives or girlfriends. Say, listen, he's tired, he's going to be in his bedroom until Tuesday. So just bring him food. And I would just say, stay in your room and don't get out of your room. I'm like that paranoid at this time. And then I wrote down here again, I went after Joe Judge here pretty good. Saying things like, if Daniel Jones was coming off a Super Bowl season, I can understand it. And by the middle of the second quarter, I'm not even feeling good about Zach Wilson being on the field. But then I write down here, but perhaps I should rethink what teams are doing and what I said about Joe Judge, I just don't know how to feel about it because there's this little stupid idiot in the back of my brain, one of my idiot brain cells that just keeps saying, wouldn't it probably just happen anyway? And then it's so probably wrong, Packers punt, Michael Carter for 8. He looks really good. And all of a sudden, the Jets look like they just want to run the clock. You start seeing some running and tick, 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 tick. A little pass to Keenan Cole, third down from the Packers 12. And White just misses a wide open Barrios, darting across, from the slot across the middle, wide open. His defender's about 1.5 yards, 2 yards behind him. So if he had made the catch, I think he would have gone straight into the end zone. And White misses him. That was a bad pass. Amendola then comes in and kicks a 30-yarder. This time dead center, just a laser, dead center. Kicks off again. Again, same exact thing. 3-yard step. You guys saw it. I don't have to keep repeating it. And then I wrote down here, kid has a very strong leg. I mean, the 45-yard field goal that he hit was like it hit the middle of the netting. Kid's got a kick. Kid's got a foot. So maybe Joe Douglas the whole time knew he had Amendola. So this whole Nazier thing, the Nigier, whatever his name was. Me, I should say. Being up in all in arms, that he's cut. And I'm thinking the whole time, they're going to bring another kicker in, and here we go. And maybe Amendola the whole time, they had complete confidence that this guy's a solid kicker. He looked great tonight. Great to see Rashid back in the game. Packers continue to run the ball at will, up the middle. Of course, it's against third stringers, but this has been going on since the first drive, And then finally, you see a fantastic pick by Eccles. I mean, it's a great pick. It's a great pick because something the announcers didn't even pick up on. The damn ball was deflected. Watch it again. The ball's deflected by somebody at the line, and Eccles still makes the play on it. It's a fantastic pick. And now for Eccles, because I remember, I don't remember the exact, I think it was just coverage deflection. But last week he made a fantastic play also, because I remember discussing him in the video. And here we are this week, he makes another good one. Where am I on time? 35. That's too long. The announcers didn't notice. White gets hit hard, but clean. He goes down. Morgan comes in. Another nice run by Carter. And then something I write down here, my brain's telling me. My brain tells me to write down this. And I wrote down Coleman, Carter, Johnson, Perrin. And I think that's it. That's it. Adams, that's it. That's probably going to be it. Because that's what we're seeing, and that's who's looking good. And Michael Perrin, he could easily become number 3 or number 2. And Johnson could become number 4, whatever it may be. Coleman, I think right now is 1, only because of seniority. Carter is 2, but come week 1, week 2, would I be surprised if I looked at the stats at the end of the game and saw 17 rushes by Carter and 13 rushes by Coleman? Not one bit. Not one bit. And the rest, I think, get cut. I think it's over. Water sits down, being higher, Carter. Okay, I wrote all that. Jets then punted away, and it's a terrible punt by Mann. He's looking to put this ball like inside the 10, inside the 5. And somehow he kicks a low kick, and the guy returns it 28 yards. And to say Mann has been average at best at this point, I write down here, would be kind. We've barely seen the huge leg that preceded his arrival. All this talk about a huge leg, We've seen some decent success inside the 20, inside the 10, I wrote here. Several, coffin corner kicks. Do they still call them coffin corner kicks? I'm looking around like there's somebody else here to help me. Anyway, I'm hoping that Mann lets it go and we start to see more. It's a punting position, I know, but still, it's a punting position. What excited me about more is that he was going to give us field position. He was going to convert field position. He was a guy that was, we're going to be on the 30-yard line, and the other team was going to start at their 20. You just saw things like that. That's what I thought we were getting, and right now we haven't seen it so far. Eccles makes another stop on a run play. I make a note that the Rodgers interview. Something to think about here. Oh, no, my first note about Rodgers. I made a note here about Rodgers is the number 1, Love is the number 2. And this kid, Breckhart, who's supposed to be a Prector, he did great. I think he was like 18 for 25 for I don't know how many yards he threw. He did have the one pick by Eccles, but it was deflected. I was really impressed with their third-string quarterback. I thought he played really good. 4th and 1 with the Packers, and we stop him. Now the Rodgers interview. And that concerned me a little bit. And it didn't concern me about Zach. He was very complimentary about Zach. He said good things. He even said that he's been talking to Zach before preseason, before mini camps, before all that. He's been talking to Zach, which was cool. He says he really likes him as a kid. But then he made some interesting comments that sort of adds up to everything we've been hearing. Everything we've been hearing this offseason. He said, he's got to be aware of his feet. He's got to be aware of his surroundings. That is what he said. That offensive line right now is a work in progress. And, he's brutally honest, Aaron Rodgers, to a fault. But at the same time, for him to be saying things like that, he probably saw this week that this offensive line needs work. And then you add that up with the stories we're hearing about the problems Becton's having, right? And yes, we haven't had Tucker, okay, so that's going to definitely improve things. And then you heard LaFleur this week, be really aggressive towards Becton. And then, of course, LaFleur is tremendous at this. He'll throw his little jabs and he will just, build the guy up to the sky. And that's what he did with Becton. And we all believe that about Becton. I still think Becton's going to be great. But for whatever reason, he's struggled this year. Who knows? It could be confidence of getting his ass kicked every day by Lawson. But, Rodgers, and then he went on to say, in fact, Rodgers went on to say about that play down the right sideline. He goes, that one throw he made, he goes, that's just special stuff. And he was very, very nice about Zach Wilson. But he did point out that, something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, the offensive line. And now Mcgovern, is even more concerned. So I'm not going to go there right now. I'm sick to my stomach over that. That's pretty much it. Nothing really happened after that. I went back and forth on this whole Mcgovern thing, and Douglas put Zach in a good position. The offense is struggling for Mcgovern goes down, so Douglas did all he could to put Zach in a good position, and we all believed all was fine. But the Jets are, right now the Jets are probably looking for a center, and I hope that's not the case. Again, you guys, by the time you see this, everything might be okay, or maybe we'll have bad news. I don't know. But the other guys need to gel quickly. And that's basically it. So before the video, I made a video about what to look for in the game. And I said, we're going to look for a couple guys, a couple guys that are really going to stand out, And while one did, in my opinion, to me, Zach Wilson went up my potential franchise quarterback meter. I am so comforted from what I saw from him today. Again, 3 years from now, can he be a cut? You never know. You never know at the damn position. It's so insane what happens to quarterbacks. But right now, I have seen the light. I love what I've seen from him. As far as the other players, I've really liked what I've seen from Eccles so far. You're calling out his name, you're seeing him do things. When you start making plays like that, you get that reputation, you get your face on camera, 1 or 2 times a game, and that's really, really good for a late draft pick at that position, and a position of need, I like Dunn. I like what I saw from certain plays from Dunn, undrafted. This is amazing. I like what I've seen from Croft. This has got to be a surprise so far. I really liked him, and yeah, a lot of us have talked about. We saw the potential in it, but Zach feels very comfortable with him. I love what I've seen from Michael Carter so far. I thought the defensive line today was not good. It was not good. I thought the running game wasn't good. I don't think the linebackers, other than Mosley, at times, I think everybody struggled against the running game. I thought Marcus May had a couple plays that were not great. I think, the defense has given up 7 points. And what did we give up today? 14? And, it's all good statistically, but there's something, I don't know what it is. I'm a little bit, so far, I know it's going to sound crazy, I'm a little bit more concerned about the defense than the offense. As of today. That could change next week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it. Okay, guys. I'm not going to even ask you to subscribe. It's too late. If you've made it this far, you don't have to. No, I'm just kidding. Please subscribe. Please like. 44 minutes, so we're going to be under 45 minutes, which is good. And that's it. That's the whole preseason game in a nutshell, and it's 8:20. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good. Okay, guys, have a great If there's anything else that comes up with Mcgovern or anything like that, if there's anything really shocking like that, I may post a small one later on, but probably not until tomorrow. Other than that, have a great night. Stay safe. Stay safe. You guys up in the metropolitan area, be careful if any of you are up there. I know parts of Long Island and Connecticut and on north, it's going to be a little tough, with this whole Hurricane Henry, Tropical Storm Henry, whatever it ends up being by the time it goes through there. So be careful. Be careful. Okay, guys, have a great night. Be safe.